Hello, my tinklings. It's so good to see you all again. It's been a long time, and there's been a bit going on with me, so I thought we'd do a little bit of a catch-up video. And you can see I have some books here, so I am thinking about recording a roleplay with that as well. So just first off the bat, am I back? And to kind of address that, I guess, is that my plans for making videos is not to be spending, I guess, an excessive amount of time making videos. So I might put out about one a month or something like that. I'm not planning on making lots of videos because my main focus right now still is on my book, which I will talk about in a little bit. But I just have a few people who have still been financially supporting me, and I thought that, it would be good to repay those people with a video here and there when I can spare the time. So that is the plan right now. So what have I been up to? Well, crazy because I guess my last video was in 2022, which is the year that we moved into this house, which it's actually really crazy to have something approaching my setup again, because I haven't had that set up in this house, so it's kind of nostalgic for me to be back in a quasi-studio setup. So I'm enjoying that. We've moved out to a more country area, and we did that so we could buy a fairly affordable house so that both of us could work on writing books and basically trying to launch our careers as authors. So my partner, Andrew, who I've spoken about before, he's working on writing some children's horror books, and I am working on my book, which we'll get to in a little bit. So yeah, so we moved out here, and this house wasn't like a complete fixer-upper, so it was livable before we had to do anything to it. But we've definitely been doing things along the way to make it more livable. And we finally actually got it painted this year. I painted Jill Brookie, our little pastel possum. He's still around and loving life. Beautiful boy. Might try and pop some photos in for you to see him. But so I painted his room before we moved in, and then last winter I painted our bedroom, and then we were like, this is a bit of a pain, so we paid somebody to paint the rest of it. So I've been working on my books and tutoring, basically. But I also had both of my parents come last year. So that was awesome because I hadn't seen them since before the pandemic, and so it was crazy because they both ended up coming. They're divorced, so they came at different times, but I ended up seeing them both within like a couple months of each other, so that took up a lot of time as well, which was the best, use of time away from writing or doing anything else. It was so great to see them, and my nephew came down as well, so it was cool to catch up with him, being a bit more grown up. He's in his like mid-teens now, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, so obviously the bulk of what I've been doing besides that has been working on, I'll say, my book, but I also actually was working on 2 books. But it's now just going to be 1 book, so we won't complicate that. But I did write like 150,000 words, so 90,000 and 60,000 in this other book that's now not going to be a book. But anyway, and so it was very rough, and it's my first time like writing a full novel and actually trying to get it into publishable shape. So it's been a real learning experience, and there's been a lot going on with that. So I kind of touched on it previously about what my book is about. I won't go into a ton of detail about that right now. I will as I get it closer and closer, and I'm actually going to publish it, then, we'll get more details with that. But the main thing that I tell people right now is just that I've been writing a book in the Pride and Prejudice universe. And I don't actually know if this side of me has come out as much in my ASMR, but I am a super stickler for details, so I have been doing tons of research. That's actually my project right now, is I have this stack of quotes that I've actually copied down in handwriting and onto like notebook paper, and it's like about this big, like a stack that big. And I'm now trying to get those onto a digital form because they're not easily sorted the way that they are. They're just basically by book, whereas I'd kind of like to be able to access them by topic. So I have learned a ton about the Regency period. At some point, I'd like to get costumed into Regency stuff and probably play a bit with that. So that may come at some point in the future, but I was looking, and it would take me a while to do my own, and it would also cost a bit to do it, so it's kind of on the back burner right now, but maybe at some point. So I don't even know what to say about my book. I've done 3 drafts now. So my first draft was just incredibly rough. People have different styles of writing, and I don't really even, I guess, know what my style is yet, because I'm, dipping my toes. I guess novel writing, I kind of know what my style of writing is for other things. But, yeah. Anyway, and I've been reading a ton as well. Research, but non-research as well. So I've been really enjoying that. So that is basically, I guess, what to say about my book. Is there anything else to say? Just randomly, because I've been, I read Atomic Habits a few years ago, so I've been doing stuff with Atomic Habits. So I've now got like this in-person yoga class I'm going to, which I found through, I'm out country areas, so there are not a lot of yoga classes around. So we go and do yoga in this woman's shed that she set up with like really relaxing lights and all that. It's a pretty cool vibe in there, so that's my nice little relax zone. And she does a lot with myofascial release, which I really enjoy. And we do like spiky balls, so I may at some point talk about those things too, because use a little more relaxation in our lives. But yeah, so that was kind of random. And then I live close to the water, so I've been swimming every day in ocean water. So if you remember, I'm in the southern hemisphere down in Australia, and so it gets cold in the winter, and it's really funny actually what I've been noticing, because we're heading into spring now, so it's been getting warmer, and I feel less motivation to swim because I feel less badass, I guess. So that's kind of my funny little thing. But I'm really concerned about UV protection, so I've got this like long sleeved paddle suit for my swimsuit, because I could tell quite an impact on my arms from swimming, even though I try and swim before like the UV is too high. But yeah, so that's just a little bit about what's been going on here, and I hope you all have been having a relaxing time, and I look forward to dipping in and out of your life just here and there over the next while. And thank you so much for being here, and